Hello, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, and today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to try a dirty pour. It feels like forever since I tried this. I've never had much luck with the dirty pours. They always kind of come out dirty. So let's give it another try today. I've got a very simple colour palette which I hope is going to work well. I've got a titanium white, cobalt blue, a nice metallic gold and a magenta pink. These are all pre-mixed. I've mixed around a tablespoon of my paint with a half a tablespoon of Floetrol and around a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half as needed of water. I also need to add a few drops of silicone oil. So I'm using the liquid wrench which I've sprayed into this little pot. I'm just going to add a few drops into each of these colours. I've already got some in this white. This was left over from a previous pour. And I'll just lightly stir those in, and then I'm going to just layer up all of my colours into this one cup, pour them on here, and let's see what happens. It's a tile. I really like to work on tiles when I'm practicing, trying new techniques, trying new colour schemes, because in the event that it just doesn't work, it's easy. I can just scrape or wipe most of it off and then rinse, clean the tile, and it's as good as new to start again. So without any ado, let's get right in and do it. A little bit of white. I haven't got any specific orders for the paints. I'm just going to try a little bit of everything and see what happens today. What I would really like is for perhaps the gold and the magenta to be most dominant, because sometimes this blue, I've tried it with the pink in the past and it can kind of take over a little bit, but at the same time I want it to be quite light coloured, so if there was quite a lot of white and it was all kind of mixing and marbling together, that would be good too. Getting a lot of cells is not going to be a priority for me today. If it happens, that's all well and good. If it doesn't, I'm not bothered to. I'm just going to mix the paints together, see what happens, and see if I can create some nice movement on the tile, not worry too much about getting any cells. So I've got more than enough paint. I just take another clean stick. I'm just going to slightly mix them in together just a little bit more. Oh, now that looks nice even there when I've scraped the little stirrer there. That looks good. And I think what I will do is just pick up the tile and pour it from one corner to the other. I've got plenty of paint, so I don't think I have to worry. So I'm just going to go for it and let's see what happens today. Okay. So that looks nice. I've got more blue this side, more pink this side, and gold throughout. So I'm just going to let that sit for a moment, spread out as much as it wants to. The paints seem reasonably thick, so they're not all running everywhere, so I think this is really nice. You know when you go to places, the Grand Canyon, and there's some other places, there's a nice place in Jordan I think, and other places around the world, where you see all of the layers of colour. There's also a really nice place in the Isle of Wight, a little island off of the UK, where they have different coloured layers of sand in the rocks, and this reminds me very much of it. All of these thin bands of colour, beautifully kind of intertwined. I just really love that. It looks really organic, really natural, and like geography, you know? So I've given it a moment to settle. It's time for us to start moving it about. I've got a little gap here that I need to close, but for the most part I just need to spread it a little bit over the sides. So let's see where this goes. It's moving nice and slowly. I'm going to go off towards my corners first and fill those in. I just dab my finger there. It's going to take care of that little gap. Same here. It's going to close that up. Move it off over here. So I just finished moving the paint into all four corners of the tile, and I reached up to turn the camera off only to find it's already off. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I think you may have got some but probably missed the last couple of corners. We'll see. But anyway, this is what it looks like when it's finished, and super wow. Absolutely lovely. The gold is amazing, but the The cells just blew me away on this one. I seem to always get small cells, not big cells, and I'm not upset about that. But when you look into the details on this, it really is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this one is going to dry exactly the same without any more movement here, because wow, it's really, really nice. And the gold coming through it, and just, you know, this area that you can see, oh, where's my finger? There we are. This area that you can see here, looks like all of the different layers through coloured rocks and things. I think you can see a little bit of, you know, glitter and sparkle there in that corner from the gold elements of it. It's all just absolutely beautiful, really like geography, you know, geology, I mean, not geography, goodness, geology. Absolutely fabulous. So thank you for following me along with this pour. This is one of the first dirty pours I've really been overjoyed with. Still lots of small cells, not big cells, but I'm happy with that. I think it looks really nice. And I have a friend in mind who I think is going to love this one. So thanks for watching, and see you again at hopefully acrylicpouring.com and in the next video.